In some ways, the kids here are more mature than the adults we see out in the world. They learn how to communicate respectfully with each other. So it's such a basic foundation of interacting in the world. And that's the thing they learn. They get down pat here. And most of us adults never really got practice with that or had good role models for that.
Yeah, they do learn like communication, just how like to get their feelings out. Like they just don't get thrown into tension. They get to have a meeting with the other person to know what they need instead of just getting in jail or a timeout chair or whatever it is.
To really figure out who you are and how to resolve a conflict. I mean, adults certainly don't know how to resolve a conflict, you know, and here that's what we're working on. I need you to hear me. I need you to know how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. This is what I need. Can you do that for me? Compassion, learning empathy. Like that just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And that social emotional development is so important. And not only is it, Patchwork is helping our children, it's helping our adults reach within ourselves and say, what do I need? You know, how can I get what I need? How can I get what I want? And how can I communicate with you to let you know that?
Calls my daughter such a sophisticated skill, but I think she got it probably at Patchwork. She said something like, I don't like this person in K-12, but I really care about them. If you can have the capacity to be in a community and not like everybody, but still care for the community and care if this person that you don't particularly like, how they're doing, you know, rather than just kind of pigeonholing them off and saying, well, I don't care because they're different from me, which is so much of like what's wrong in the world.
Because emotions, I think, in kids are big, and they have to figure out how to handle them. So, you know, what do you do? And I think that's what they get here, in large part, that they don't get at a public school, is they get that teaching of how to be a person and how to survive in our world, because it's not nice sometimes, and it's hard.
I don't want to come off as critical, but in the public system, there tends to be that, like, doesn't feel like there is space. And if there is, it's you have to leave your classroom, your community, and go somewhere else with a counselor or an adult and share your feelings. And I think when we come here, it's really, we allow that to happen, and we give space for kids to share the big feelings and to not judge and to not say that they need to hide and put it away, that it's okay to have that here.
I'm remembering a specific student in the K-12 who would get so frustrated when he couldn't create something perfect, and he would rip up his paper and get so frustrated. And after a year in K-12, he asked me for help. We were working on this really like kind of a high importance poster for this endangered animals presentation that we were doing, and he was trying to draw this picture of bees and how bees were gonna go extinct, and he wanted to write all the words and he couldn't fit it, and he ripped his paper and got so upset. And then another student helped him tape it back together, and then they added it to the presentation. And it was, I mean, it was just such a cool thing to see that growth in him, because before that, I mean, at the beginning of the year, he wouldn't have even considered trying again.
Like working at the school, I just see such amazing things in these young people. This confidence, the self-authenticity, the ability to fix problems, to fix their own problems. Like as a teacher, that's, I think, a huge goal for me is not stepping in and fixing it for them, but giving them the tools so that they can learn to do it themselves.
We found Patchwork when my son was in 5th grade. We were looking for something different because it just became really clear that it was not really working for him. It was really like kicking and screaming to get him out the door, and tears and fighting every morning. I felt very hopeless. I didn't know what to do because I knew he had to be in school, and it just felt really frustrating to feel like I had to force him to do something that he was so unhappy doing. So making that shift and just feeling that relief and that ease and seeing him just turn into a different person and feeling happy and excited to learn and to be around people who accepted him for who he is. Finding that trust, to really know that children have this innate desire to learn and trusting that they will do it and they will find that within themselves. Took me a little while to kind of wrap my head around it and sort of unravel that kind of, fear-based structure. Maybe the second or third day he was coming here, and he said to me, "Mom, I can't wait to think of more things I want to learn." And I just knew that was how I wanted my child to feel going to school every day.